And we are live. Here we are. Okay, just reading the chat. Thank you for joining me. This is Taylor Talks Comics Live, the weekly show that goes over all the comic book industry news with you. And my name is Taylor, the Taylor of Taylor Talks Comics. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for joining me. Well, some people trickle in. Allow me to do some plugs real fast. Down below in the description of this video, you can see where to follow me on social media. Follow me on Twitter at TM Talks Comics, Instagram and TikTok. I'm at Taylor Talks Comics. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already as well. You can email me if you'd like to over at taylortalkspodcasts@gmail.com. That's taylortalkspodcasts@gmail.com. If you have any comic book news, topics you want me to cover, comic books you want me to cover, all that jazz. If you shop over at organicpricebooks.com, which is where you should shop, it's the best place to buy your comics, graphic novels. Use my promo code Taylor Talks Comics, all one word. Taylor Talks Comics, all one word. That'll save you $2 off your order. That's the code you're going to want to use if you are buying 1, 2, or 3 books. How if you're putting an order in of 4 or more and you're making a bigger order, ordering more comics, more graphic novels, more goodness, then use my other promo code, TTC Ship It Together. TTC Ship It Together, all one word, and that will save you 5% off of that big order. So how's everyone doing in the chat? Let me know. Huff Deely, why would you do this to me? I'm supposed to be studying all day. What are you studying for, Huff? Let me help you. How about you throw some questions, or we'll ask you questions on the air. Oh, if you stop studying for this and watch the replay, you hear me? Oh, wow. Elon is fired up. Taylor. Thank you, James. Dupe. Yes. We got Dupe over here of Ecstatics fame. James and OmniDog helped me track that down, so I appreciate that. OmniDog got one. I think James got one as well. So we're all dupe dudes. If you haven't read Ecstatics, then you should. Hello, thank you, Space Monkey, for joining me. How are you doing? Super Laugh Hard. Hello, Taylor in the chat. Did you get Horn Rim 4 by Dink Garcia in the new Alonzo sneak shirt? I need to order Horn Rim. It's not sold out yet, is it? I saw Horn Rim 4 was going. I need to compile all of my Nate Garcia stuff together, because when I saw that he posted last week about the pre-orders for Horn Rim, and I thought there's only Horn Rim 1 and 2, which I know I definitely have those. I don't remember Horn Rim 3 though. Like, so I needed, but I might have it. I need to track it all down. I'm almost certain I have every Nate Garcia release. But when he said Horn Rim 4, I was confused. Is that like there was a third one, or is that like how the Traveling Wilburys released album 2 before album? No. It was album 1, album 3, and there's never an album 2. Replays. I don't watch replays. I live in the now. That's nice. Do you get Devil's Grin 5? Man, there's too many stuff to be ordering. Stop procrastinating. I'm doing quiz questions now. Like, they're asking me quiz questions. I'm missing the OG Jambalaya. Oh, I have that. I know I have that, because Nate, the first time I read a Nate Garcia comic, was when he sent me out. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you review my comics on your channel?" Which anybody can do, by the way. I do have actually a couple that I need to make a video of that I had sent to me a couple weeks ago. But and I said, sure, absolutely. And he sent me Horn Rim 1, 2, and Jambalaya 1. I am missing his most recent Jambalaya sketchbook, though. I know that. That's the one Nate Garcia thing I'm missing. Hey, Sonny, are you feeling better? There is a Horn Rim 3. See, I need to look it up. I must have it. I think you have it. I'm pretty sure you showed it in the original video about him. Maybe, I don't know. I need to gather it together. Coley's in the house. Thank you for joining me, Coley. How are you doing? How you doing? I have 5 copies of Devil's Grin 5 if you need one. Well, yes, absolutely, Huff. I would appreciate that. New Simon Hanselman comic dropping any day now. Did you get everything on OPB website? No, how can you? You're a comic book YouTuber. Read everything, especially Dynamite Comics. Did I like hey, thank you, Lohit, for joining me, by the way. Did I have I ordered all my comics from OPB? That's not true. But I do order it from them. I have extras of the new Jambalaya. That's the one I need. So hit me up, Huff. All the Devil's Grin I have are the ones that you sent me already, Huff. Which I think I have them over here. Let me see. Ah! Bear with me, people. Just a moment. Here's my like indie stack of to read pile. I need to find a better place for my Voltron because he keeps falling down whenever I put him there. And now he has no arms. Let me fix my Voltron. Nah, whatever. You're just gonna be armless. All right, let's see what I have. This is my indie to read pile. Here's my original Nate Garcia letter that he sent me. I still have Dwellings to read. Let's see. Hornrim 1 and 2. This, which is not my to read pile. I've read these. I think I was trying to accumulate all my Nate Garcia stuff at one point. Jambalaya, which is the original Jambalaya. Flippy, which I think I showed that off on my channel before. This is not my to read pile, but this is great. This is the Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson Alien comic. Great stuff. I need to show that off on my channel. Here's Nate Garcia. It Could Happen to You. Got that. Empty Wire by Nate Garcia, and this is like a collab comic, jam comic he did with Molly Dwyer. Maple Terrace by the great Noah Vanskyver. Some bags and boards. Another Dwellings. I think I was accumulating. See, these are not all to read either. These are just me accumulating all my Dwellings comics. I think to do a video on them. By the great Jay Stevens. Here's my Devil's Grin. Yeah, I only have 1, 2, and 3. Huff. And then I got the other Simon Hanselman comic. This is what you sent me before, which again, thank you so much. Devil's Grin 1, 2, and 3, and then the Simon Hanselman. So I am missing Devil's Grin 4, 5, and Hornrim 4, I guess. But I need it. I swear I still have more Nate Garcia stuff because I still have all my Alonso sneaks somewhere. I'll figure it out. But I'm almost certain I should have Hornrim 3. All right. Let me see. Where are we at? Let's catch up here. Very happy with my 2 pickups today. First time I have seen them. The Swedish's secondhand market. Marvel Masterworks Marvel Rarities and Marvel Masterworks Deathlock Volume 1. Did you, Space Monkey, was your Marvel Rarities inspired by Curtis from the Epic Marvel podcast? I saw he picked up that same volume a few days ago over in Canada. I didn't know that book existed, though. That specific Marvel Masterworks. It looked like I had some cool stuff in there. And then my next question, is there a follow-up volume to that? Because I might seek out that volume. It'd be kind of cool to have. Super laugh hard. I am. Thanks for asking. Oh, that's Elon. Super Laugh Arts, are you doing better? I'm glad to hear that. I don't remember what I sent to who at this point. Yeah, you sent me Devil's Grin 1 through 3 in that Mega Mog comic. Is what you sent me. So I guess I need Devil's Grin 4 and 5 at this point. I didn't even know there was a TTC today. I'm playing this in my phone from office on mute. Where did you go? Oh, when I went to go look for my comics. R.I.P. Voltron. No, he's fine. Although I don't know where the Green Lion fell to. Oh, there he is. It's a pretty sturdy toy, actually. This was the remake. I think there's probably some scratches because this is like at least the 7th time he's fallen off that shelf, and he's still intact. This is like the remake, though. When the Voltron Netflix series came out, which is amazing, by the way. Love that series. My son and I watched the whole series together. And every time a new season came out, we had a cool dude's day and watched the new season. But when that series came out, they remade the old 80s version, and we bought him all the lions and built it. So it's actually my son's toy, but I told him I'm going to store it down, and then I'm beating it up on accident. Don't tell him. Nice to hear you better. I'm so bad at keeping track of things. I once sent my personal copies of a book to someone. Oh no. You try to do a nice thing, and then you accidentally send books you don't want to. Dupatron, yes. Dupe plus Voltron. If I have psoriasis, which organ is affected? I don't know. Voltron survived the war on Cybertron. No peeping. Dang it, the quiz question got auto-censored. What's a jambalaya? Is it a dish? What's jambalaya juice? Is it a drink? Are they related? Or jamba juice? Jambalaya is a dish. I think it comes from the New Orleans area. But jambalaya to Nate Garcia is like a sketchbook where he like sketches out his ideas and stuff. Wait, hold on. That's like a self-portrait right there, it looks like. On the top. There's a bunch of self-portraits in here, actually. Of young old Nate Garcia. I love his style. He's got such a cool, stylized, cartoony look to his artwork. And he's just so young. Like, this kid is going to be like a superstar cartoonist. Like, in the 10 years, he's going to be the biggest name in comics. How did you get It Could Happen to You? I ordered it? Which one is that? Oh, that's the little guy, right? I ordered this. I feel like I ordered this with something else. I either ordered it directly from Nate or I ordered it from like Domino Books or something that it came with. Then it came with something else. I forget, but I ordered that. I don't know. Did you not get a copy? News item. EVS afraid of Taylor Talks Comics. Yes. Huff Dealey has been on the has been on the beat, if you will, as an investigative journalist. And he has been trying to figure out why Ethan Van Sciver has censored our debate that we had back in the day. Oh, here's another Nate Garcia, Gecko. And then Maple Terrace by Noah Van Sciver. I have all 3 issues of this, which I want to show off too. Oh. I didn't even notice he's signed and personalized my Gecko. That's cool. Yeah, but my Alonzo Sneaks, the bigger magazine size that he does, they're all piled somewhere. I just need to find them. But yeah, Ethan Van Sciver, I debated him 3 years ago, I think, on his channel, and he has censored the debate. He's hidden it. Hold on. I had to sneeze. Sorry. And Huff Deal has been trying to figure out why. And Ethan just says he did not perform well on that debate, but Huff is saying that he's afraid of me, which I'm not going to argue with. A patient is nulliparous and experiencing hypertonic uterine dysfunction. Is this like a Jeopardy? We're supposed to give you the question now? Okay. I don't know what you're saying here. Yeah, I saw it too, but no, I bought it earlier. Only one volume of rarities. Okay. So you just it was just a serendipitous thing that you guys both bought at the same time. Psoriasis of skin, of course, is skin. Speaking of skin, have you guys read the Skin comic by Brendan McCarthy and Peter Milligan? It's a little rarity for you. Now we're going through medical questions. Oh yeah, I forgot Nate sold it. It could happen to you on his site too. That must be where I got it then. I think he sold it with something else though too. You know what? Actually, I think I got it with Empty Wire. I think maybe Empty Wire. He was selling both of those at the same time. So I know I didn't just buy it by itself. It came with something. Gas and Air. Do you have hydrotherapy? Well done, Huff. It Can Happen to You was an old 90s movie with Angelina Jolie. There's a little fun fact for you. On the offensive. We're talking about Ethan again. On the attack. That's why I'm really there. Sorry I'm late. I had to get a magazine of Conan. Which magazine? Is it the new one? Is it Savage Sword or is it an old one? I have a personal note from Nate and Josh. I've saved. It's a prized possession. Did you see Josh Pettinger and what is it? Gregan Fake or whoever does the Santos sisters? They're doing a little mashup magazine type deal. It's pretty cool. It's Nick Cage, Bridget Fonda. Okay, so it's not Angelina Jolie. No, but I've read Skin Deep by Charles Burns. That's a great one too. Charles Burns is fantastic. That's an artist I need to collect some of his rarities for. Because I'm missing some of his stuff. But like his album sized hardcovers from Fantagraphics. I think he has 3 of those. And I'm missing 2 of them from from way before. Not the I don't know, not his most recent hardcovers that he came out with, but the old ones like this one. Big Baby, and then I think is it El Borba is one of them that I'm missing, and then I think there's one more of this era Burns hardcovers that I'm missing. Yeah, I sold Empty Wire, and It Could Happen to You together, but It Could Happen to You was originally, it just sold it. Yes, that's, yeah. I think you might have tipped me off to that. Brand new Savage Sword. How is it? And is it in black and white? I saw that it was coming out. Is it black and white? And is it like an anthology magazine type deal like the original Savage Sword? Because I hope so. That'd be cool. Savage Sword and Conan both dropped today. What a day. Thank you, Crom. Yes, that's what else I wanted to say. I forgot. I hope it brings even more people to Tedward. Yeah, Santos Sisters is an amazing series as well, which I need to catch up on that. I think I only have the first 3 issues of that, so I need to catch up on those. But it's another great series, and I also need to do a video on those. Duke 3 drops today. Good here, LCS. Duke Nukem? No, but that'd be cool. I think he's talking about the G.I. Joe comic. Yes, I have all 3 of those Burns collections. Yeah, so I'm missing 2 of them. So good. It is. Like Burns is, I don't know. I surrealist, but amazing brushwork and ink. I just love Charles Burns. I can't wait till I think he has 2 new books coming out of Fantagraphics this year. One of them is like an art book where he's doing like different posters and whatnot. We're doing different like fake comic book covers that don't actually exist, and then the other one is actually his book he's been releasing in France that is getting an English publication finally. Which, by the way, has the no. I've been waiting for the new Fantagraphics catalog to drop because they've been Wait, what is this? Oh, I don't need that up. Because there's so many like books coming out into the like Kinney from over at one of the Facebook groups I'm in keeps finding all these future Fantagraphics releases listings on Amazon, which means that Fantagraphics is building their new catalog. But I'm waiting for the catalog to drop, and I'm going to definitely do a video on that when it drops. I go where I please where I go, baby. Black and white, 2 stories and some articles. So yep. Oh, so it is like Savage. Oh man, that's cool. That's something that comics needs today. Is like those old classic black and white anthology magazine type deals. So I'm glad they brought it back in that format. I haven't read any Santo Sisters. I'm sure I'll get an eventual collection. Santo Sisters is great. It's like it looks like an Archie comic, but it's like these 2 sisters that have like superpowers. And the whole thing is done in like total Archie comic style with classic like made up ads and stuff in the single issues, and it's done on like cheap newsprint paper. The whole presentation is really, really cool. And it's like it's just a fun read. It's funny. Like it's literally, it will literally make you LOL. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I hope it does get a collection. But I also like the single issues because they do have that whole presentation to them with the cheap newsprint and the fake ads and whatnot. And I'm assuming that when they eventually gets collected, some of that stuff will be missing. Burns is king. I've read the new Burns books. It's incredible. Yeah, because you see, is it coming from Fanta or Pantheon? Oh, maybe it is. Let me see. I think you might be right. I know the art book is coming through Fantagraphics, but Pantheon might have the other book. Comics with an X is coming out July. And that's the one from Fantagraphics. That's the one with the fake covers and whatnot. And then let me see. Final Cut, is that what it's called? There's a hardcover on here. It's called Final Cut. Coming out in September. That's 224 pages. Yeah, that's Pantheon. You're right. So the new actual like comic story collection is going to be in September. 224 pages, hardcover called Final Cut, and then Comics is the art book that's coming out by Fanta. It's printed on fake newsprint. The Savage Sword is? Oh man, that's exciting. You can see future Fanta books in their coming soon section. Yeah, that's where I found the new hate comics coming out. Yeah, so I always scour through there too. It's like their coming soon section towards the end. But I want to see the whole catalog because they usually put like full descriptions and like page counts, and they'll even have like some sample pages in their stuff. Who does the art in those Conan books? I don't know. Today, news of G.I. Joe Real American Compendium Volume 1 drop. Yes, my brother actually, who has a channel dedicated to G.I. Joe, Real American Brian, if you want to go find that on YouTube, sent that to me. Sent me the image of the Real American Hero Compendium Volume 1 dropping this fall from Skybound. No listings as far as what issues they'll collect just yet, but I'm assuming it'll probably be about 50 or so issues. Josh Bayer? Who's that? I mean, I know who Josh Bayer is, but what are you saying now? Yeah, the Santo Sisters aesthetic didn't grab me as much as just like the Dwellings one. Oh, the Dwellings is so good though. Jay Stevens is awesome. And he's got some upcoming strips in the new EC comics that we talked about last week. Oh, and by the way, the Dwellings, it's so cool. Last week when I was going over the news about the EC comics coming back, and I said like I'm shocked that Cullen Bunn's not attached to this because it's from Oni Press. Cullen Bunn loves doing horror comics. Cullen Bunn's worked with Oni Press. It just seemed like it was such a perfect marriage, but Cullen Bunn is actually been listed for that, so he will be in the EC comics. All right, I'm jumping off, but A Real American Hero is getting a compendium? Yes, get that, everyone. Thanks, James. Larry Hama's best work, which he got because no one else wanted it. It's true. And now he's done over 300 issues with 3 different publishers because he's done issues for Marvel, did 155 issues with them. And then he did the next 145 issues with IDW. And now he's continuing the series with Image Skybound. No spoilers, but I recommend watching the movie The Last Picture Show at some point before the Burns book drops. Oh, you told me that. You told me that before. I need to write that down. I got the scrap piece of paper here. Last Picture Show before Burns book. Yes, I need to do that. Yeah, Final Cut is the English name, I think, but the translation of the European version is Mazes or Labyrinths. The Burns book is hardcover? Yes. I hope it's oversized. I agree. Taylor's brother, Brian, talks comics. Actually, he spells his name with a Y, Brian, and it's Real American Brian. Huff, different artist for Conan. Who? Dwellings comes out next month in trade. It's true. That's true. Dwellings came out in 6 issues that were all crowdfunded, and then they did 3 issues in comic book shops that each collected 2 of the issues, and now they're doing a trade. I thought Larry Hama's best work was The Nam. It's true. I mean, that's a series that you can also read, but also his Wolverine run was pretty good. Huff, you got the Googles. Sorry. Last Picture Show is an incredible film, and watch it just for Sybil Shepherd, if nothing else. Brian talks comics. All right, so that's I caught up on the chat. Let's go through some news here. Let me get my news topics ready before anybody else fills up the chat. I know it's always a challenge that people like to fill it up before I get a chance to even cover the news. Oh, was this a press release by Fanta? Let me see. Do I have the okay? I wonder if they did a press release. They should have. If they haven't. Yes, they did. Okay. So, share my screen here. With that guy right there. Buddy Bradley is back. The greatest comic series of the 90s triumphantly returns in Hate Revisited. Click that. This is coming from February 19th, 2024, which I guess I scooped Fantagraphics on because before this press release came out, I shared on Twitter with the world and said, this is coming out. And I invited Peter Bagge onto my show. I hope I can get him on my show. It'd be great to do an interview with Pete Bagge, one of my favorite cartoonists. But it'll be a 4-issue monthly series slated to start releasing in June 2024. So I'm assuming with it saying monthly, we'll get an issue June, an issue July, an issue in August, and the last issue in September. Touted by critics and fans alike as one of the best alternative comic series of all time, Hate is revitalized with fresh new stories featuring the iconic characters Buddy Bradley, Lisa, Valerie, and the gang, flashing back and forth between the present day and the height of the 90s grunge era. These new stories return readers to the vivid world of Hate, finally giving due to Stinky's shocking suicide as Buddy is forced to come to terms with his friend's death. These new comics bring depth and closure to storylines that have been building for 3 decades. One of Fantagraphics' flagship comic series, Hate, put Peter Bagge on the map. Let me see. I don't want to read this whole thing. Here's Peter Bagge's quote. While it was suggested to me that I revisit the old Hate cast, once I got started on it, I was more than happy with the results, explains Pete Bagge. This stuff writes itself. I'm also glad I decided to split it between the present day as well as flashbacks of the 80s, 90s. This was especially true with Stinky. I forgot what a loose cannon that character was. And this is coming from the Fantagraphics VP, associate publisher, Eric Reynolds. He says, when Peter first floated the idea of a new Hate series, I was immediately thrilled, but the results have far exceeded my high expectations. Hate Revisited not only captures the humor and anarchy of the original series, but adds layer of emotional gravitas as Buddy and Lisa and company are confronted with the consequences of some of their youthful indiscretions. Here's the cover to the first one, Hate Revisited. So you see a girl there beating Buddy Bradley up with a Black Lives Matters sign as Buddy is wearing a MAGA hat. It'll be politically charged, to be sure. And what is this? Let me see this. Share this tab instead. So this is the official listing. June 6th is when it will come out. And it'll be $3.99, 24 pages, full color, single issue comic book. And there's no sample pages. I thought there's some website that had sample pages. Let me see. Hate Revisited Peter Bag. Was it IGN that had the that they sent the press release to? Yes, there is. Okay, here we go. So here's IGN.com with their article on Hate Revisited, written by Jesse Shedding. Sorry, Jesse, if I'm butchering your name. Oh, here's the preview gallery. All right, let's go through here. Here's the preview images of what you can expect from Hate. If you're not reading Peter Bag comics, they're amazing. They're hilarious. And I probably can't see that too good. Dang it. I can't. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see this too good because I can't zoom in, or else it'll fudge up the whole screen here. But there's gonna be black and white. So I'm assuming the flashbacks that take place in the 90s will be black and white, and then it'll be full color for the present day stuff, which I'm assuming will be colored by Peter's wife. She's usually the colorist on his stuff there. Yeah. So any fans of Hate? Anybody? I love Peter Bag. I do have 2 videos on my channel covering the Neat Stuff collection, which is right here. The Neat Stuff box set, which is the original anthology that Buddy Bradley, which you can see on the screen there, debuted in. This is a really cool little slipcase that has 2 hardcovers in it that collects every issue of Neat Stuff. Yeah, all 15 issues of Neat Stuff are in there. And then, so I have a video showing that off. Dang it. That was his original one-man anthology from Peter Bag. And then this is the complete Hate box set, which will no longer be complete because we have Hate Revisited to add to it. There's over 800 pages in this guy, collecting all 39 issues of Hate in these really cool hardcovers. And they're all, well, I think the first, hold on. Because this started out black and white, right? Yeah. Hate was originally black and white when it started. And I think I want to say issue 11 was the first full color. No, that's not right. Issue 16 was the first full color. But yeah, a really great box set. Includes all of the great artwork by Peter Bag and great comics that, again, are hilarious. But, I mean, So what you can see from the cover with the MAGA hat and the Black Lives Matter sign, it's not so much politically charged. Peter Bag comics, I'd say they're more social commentary charged, and there's no one's safe. Peter Bag makes fun of everybody from all ideologues, all ideologies, all backgrounds, viewpoints, left, right, center, up and down. No one's safe. He makes fun of all of them, which is hilarious. So if you have some self-awareness when he's making fun of wherever you lie politically or socially, you'll find it funny. So what do you guys think of the new Hate comics? Where are we at in the chat? Been wanting a Nomnibus, but Omar Gatekeeper. I think he wants a Nomnibus too, right? Breaking news: David Letterman is releasing a Tucker Carlson interview parody. Is that true? Like oh man, Jon Stewart did a great job taking Tucker Carlson to task for his Russia investigative journalism. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Tucker Carlson really showed his privilege. Which I don't know if are all these Aldi? Is the Aldi grocery stores that an all across America thing? But if you're not familiar, Aldi grocery stores, all their shopping carts are like locked together, and you put a quarter in, and then it unlocks the shopping cart, and you go do your shopping, and then to entice you to return the shopping cart where it's supposed to go, you plug it back in, and it pops your quarter back out. And it saves all the money on having to have shopping cart attendants go chase all the shopping carts around the parking lot, because hopefully the guests will return the shopping cart so they can get the quarter back. That's like what Aldi does. But this Russian grocery store that Tucker Carlson went to had a similar setup, and he was like amazed by this. And it just showed like, Tucker, have you ever been grocery shopping in America? But yeah, Jon Stewart did a great job taking him to task. But David Letterman, is that what he's doing? Is like a funny parody of it? I love David Letterman. Shout out. He's from Indiana, best state in the whole country. I hope they do a collection of the Savage Sword. It's the same paper. That'd be cool. Oh yeah, this is also news. I was hoping you'd mention Peter Bag, of course. Anything Peter Bag, I'll mention. If you can't get Peter Bag, have you tried getting an interview with comic book artist Josh Grayhouse? Yes, I need to have Josh on. I think Josh said he's working on I don't know if is this breaking news, Josh. I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of school here, but there might be a volume 2 coming out, may or may not be, of Bang the Battle of the Tiger. And whenever that does come out, I do plan on having him on the show to announce that, and hopefully we can goose the numbers up a little bit for that release, because Josh is awesome. Wow, there's some great stuff in the last page of the Fanta coming soon. There is. Josh Simmons Jessica Farm collection finally collecting the long out of print series. And hype. Yeah, how about we just go over it? I'll go through it. All right, and then it'll be like a little preview to the catalog show. That's a handful of hate. Yes. I love the Neat Stuff box set, but I think I sold the Hate box set at some point and still regret selling that and the 8-Ball box set. I think the Hate box set's still in print, so you should track that down again. The 8-Ball box set, though, is out of print, and I don't think they'll ever reprint it. I think if 8-Ball in collected edition stays in print, it'll be the thick trade paperback they just came out with. I was able to track down the box set because I was hoping they'd reprint it, and then they never did. And now that they have the trade paperback, I'm assuming self-awareness, never heard of it. I'm assuming that's what they'll keep in print. Omar said only dozens of us want Nom. Oh, but he said us. So Omar's not gatekeeping, because he would be gatekeeping himself. There is the Tiger Eyes poll, the most wanted omnibus poll of omnibuses that have never come out. That will be coming out in a couple weeks. First, though, will be the Epic Collection reprint poll. And that's a show I'll be on with Curtis and Omar, which I think will be next Thursday. Yeah, I think it's next Thursday at like 11:30 a.m., if I remember. I got to watch the new Jon Stewart stuff, but I heard he talks about his dog dying in the newest one. Yeah, and that's sad. But I mean, Jon Stewart is he's a genius. He's one of the brightest minds in politics that I've ever encountered, I think. And obviously he's left leaning, but that doesn't mean that he's an ideologue in the sense that the left is not not safe from his satirical jokes either. Like he goes after the left just as hard as he goes after the right. Well, maybe not as hard, but he goes after the left. Like in one of the shows that he did, he went after Biden and Trump both, saying like these are the candidates we have in the next presidential election. What are we doing? And he got a lot of flack from a lot of people on the left for that. It's like, how dare you go after our guy? And Jon Stewart's like, he's just honest. I don't know. I love Jon Stewart stuff. I'm glad he's back. I hope he sticks around and does even more. How do you feel about the NMC top 20 reprints list? Do the correct books win? James, I'm going to say that for next week. I I wanted to go over today. It is news, but in out of respect to Omar, since his video literally just dropped an hour ago, for that video showing off the results of the top 20 reprints omnibus list, I don't want to go over it on my channel here and kind of take the shine off of possible views for him. So I will go over that next week. But as far as how I feel about the results, I was much happier with the results this year than I was last year. Last year, I was really upset because there's like no Silver Age whatsoever, which annoyed me. And then also all 5 of the books I voted for last year, none of them made it onto the top 20. This year, I think 2 or 3 of mine made it into the top 20, barely. Like they're all at the bottom of the top 20. And but I was happy with the overall results. There's a lot more classic and modern mix in there. That was kind of one of the goals I had and why I proposed to Omar to do the live show and kind of make it a bigger deal, was to have a conversation about these things and maybe bring in some more votes. I was disappointed that there was less votes this year than last year, though. Selfishly, since I was trying to make a bigger deal about it this year, I was hoping that I would boost the number of votes, but what can you do? Jon Stewart, the reason Tucker no longer wears a bow tie. It's true. I've seen that clip too of Jon Stewart ripping him on Crossfire. Also, Tucker family made their money in frozen food section. So it'd be funny then if he is not familiar with grocery stores, but he didn't know that. But maybe not. I know he is a trust fund kid for sure. I heard that about the Tucker grocery store thing. It must have been even worse than the Dr. Oz thing. I don't know if it was worse, but it just definitely made him look dumb. I don't know what to say. Like and then the fact that Jon Stewart also takes him to task too, because Tucker's like, I didn't even look at what I was buying, and all my groceries I spent cost me only $100, and evil Russia can figure it out. Why can't America? Kind of making fun of like our inflation prices and whatnot. But then Jon Stewart's like, if he was a true journalist, he would have pointed out that in Russia, most Russians only average the income of $200 a week. So $100 grocery bill is half their income every week. So it was just fun. I don't mean to get in politics here. I'm sorry, guys, but whether you're on the right or left, Tucker Carlson is he's a schmuck. All right, I'm sorry about that. Nothing to do with his viewpoints. It's just the things that he does. It's a little. I try to keep this fun and light. I try not to, attack people personally, but I can't help to say that. If I lose a viewer because you're a Tucker Carlson fan, I'm sorry. Breaking news: hardcover oversized Bang collection, Volume 2 of Bang. What? Breaking news. Look around May. First time said that. So breaking news. Sorry, Josh. I don't know if I spoke out of school and ruined your big announcement there. But I do want to have you on the show around whenever you have pre-orders or whenever anybody can put an order in. I want to have you on the show so we can hype that up. and break that news, if you will. But yes, there is a new Bang the Ballad of the Tiger coming out. Josh Greathouse is breaking the news there. Single issues of Sunday and Future by Tomi Masuri. Both fantastic. I have a. Where is it? Yeah. This is the only. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tommy Masturi collection I have. The Book of Hope. And it is awesome. So he's an artist I want to seek out. I just keep forgetting. And I actually got this at the Kino Kuniya over in New York on my New York trip, which is a fun trip. I have a haul of all the cool books I got from that trip over in a playlist called Comic Book Hauls, which I just dropped a video the other day of my. Oh, did it just get dark in here? My light turned off. My Epic Collection haul that I just had, but this is good stuff. Check that out. Don't support that monster. Are you talking about yourself? I suggested Fantastic Four by Simonson Omnibus. That'd be great. I would love that one or DeFalco. Any more Fantastic Four collections for sure. Because I assume the Perez era, which wasn't that long, will probably be like whenever they get to like Fantastic Four volumes 6, 7, 8, like those volumes. But Simonson and DeFalco are probably farther off. So I think those will be the next ones. And either that or Heroes Return. And Dan Slott. I think those will probably be the next Fantastic Four omnibuses we see. Which there will be a movie next year. Hopefully we get some. Jon Stewart is left-leaning because he's one of the brightest minds, obviously. He really is one of the brightest minds in politics. He got attacked for appearing to both sides the election, which would be insane to do, but isn't an accurate representation of what he did. I agree. Yeah. But Jon Stewart's done a lot of great things too. Like all the things that he's done, going to Washington, D.C. to fight for veterans and the military and firemen that were actually active in 9/11, all the stuff that he's done for those groups is really amazing. That he's used his platform and spotlight to do that, and not just like talking about it on TV. Like he's literally marching with those guys in protest on at the Capitol, speaking in front of Congress for people, for the heroes of 9/11. Like Jon Stewart's done amazing stuff. And like I said, he's one of the brightest minds in politics, which is so funny to say. And I know, like, if I ever met Jon Stewart, which would be amazing, and I said that to him, like, you're one of the brightest minds in politics or political commentary, he'd probably be like, I'm a comedian. Why? That's what, he'd be like, that's such a disgrace to our country that a comedian is one of the brightest minds, but he is. I demand a recount. No Devil Dino. Yeah, that sucks. I will say about the top 20 reprints list, Dupe having a very good week. Yes, he is. Which I was wrong. On the reprint show, I said that was like a 14 or 1500 page omnibus already, the Ecstatics one. It's only 1200 pages. So they could fit in giant size Ecstatics and I think it's 8 issues of Excellent, the follow-up series by Milligan and Allred. It's only 9 issues. They could pack that in to the reprint, because those are going to be orphaned. Like, unless they do an oversized collection, an oversized hardcover, which they're not doing right now, a companion with those 9 issues in it, I think they should pack them into the omnibus. It'd only be about, like, what would that be? 9, do some math, 200, about 200 extra pages. So you're only looking at 14. It still wouldn't be the biggest omnibus. Around May, I'm saying it first time here. No, well. Oh, well. Okay. Well, thank you for allowing me, or for forgiving me, I guess, and also allowing us to break the news for Bang the Ballad of the Tiger from Josh Greathouse. Yes, we need to bang that drum for you. Oh yeah, I wanted to go over the coming soon section of Fantagraphics. So let's do that. Shop. No, that's not what we do. New and featured. No, I want coming soon. There we go. Coming soon. And then I will share my screen. Okay, so if you ever want to know what's coming out in Fantagraphics, this is the page I stalk until they release a new catalog. So the first stuff I'm just going to scroll through quickly because I've either gone over this on my catalog show I did, which you can find if you search like Taylor Talks Comics, Fantagraphics summer catalog. I'm sure you can find it, or just look on my channel. But a lot of these early stuff I went over on there. This new Tim Lane book, I don't think I went over. Let me see if there's sample pages in this. Tim Lane is a super underrated artist. There's not. Dang it. But Mythologies and Apocrypha, issue number 1, $5.99. That'll be out April 24th. Blessed Be. The Lost Worlds of George Metzger. I don't think that was on that video. That was like a really cool book. Wait, hold on. Let me click on this. Before seeing collections. Dang it, I like when they don't have any sample pages on that. See, that's why I need the catalog. I want to see some samples of this stuff. But that looks like a really cool book. Mark Twain's War Prayer. That was on the catalog. All right, let's go to page 2. Atlas Comics, In the Day of the Rockets. I believe that might have been on there. That'll be like some sci-fi stories from the Atlas era of Marvel. The Web of Horror, the complete Web of Horror, which was going to have Bernie Wrightson, Michael Kaluta, stuff in there. That was a magazine that came out in like the 70s. It only lasted a few issues. This hardcover will collect every issue. The new issue of Now will be great. That's the anthology that Fantagraphics has been doing. Can't wait for that. Foul Play, Jack Davis horror comics. That'll be the EC Comics collection. Excited for that. Donald Duck, Mystery of the Swamp, Volume 3 in the Carl Barks library. Braba, the Brazilian comics anthology, which I cannot wait to get that. But Rafael Grampa is the one of the editors for that. And Rafael Grampa is an amazing artist. He had a recent Batman series. And then Comics by Charles Burns is the one I was talking about earlier, which has like all the fake comic book covers. So it's kind of like an art book. Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, High Times and Misdemeanors. Future by Tommy Masturi is the one that Huff Dealey was talking about earlier. That's the one on the right there. Thimble Theater, Mothballs, Atlas War Comics, which I think there will be a lot of crossovers with this one and the Atlas at War collection that I went over in my 5 Faith Fridays a couple weeks ago for my favorite war comics. What We Mean by Yesterday, Benjamin Mara's Instagram comic he's been doing. This will be volume 1 of that. I'm excited for that to come out. Then page 3. Wonder if there's any new stuff I haven't seen yet on here. Like I said, I stalked this page quite a bit. Oh, this is a new Tardy book. Jacques Tardy, Elise and the New Resistance. That'll be exciting to get that. There's a couple of people on here. Did you mention these people, Huff? Julia Grofer and Olivier Schwauen? I'm not familiar with either of those cartoonists, I don't think. Jessica Farm by Josh Simmons will be great. That's a collecting. It's not the entirety of the thing. I think it's just volume 1 or something, because career spanning project for 24 years in the making. He's done 1 page a month for the last 24 years, starting in 2000. Horror, fantasy, psychodrama. But this isn't like the whole. Isn't he still working on this? I don't know. I thought that was like still an ongoing project. Jordan Crane goes like this. I think that's been pushed back, so that's probably why that's on here. And then Anna Haifish, Ready America. So some of the stuff I saw in the Amazon collection that's not on there is one of them is the a hardcover collection collecting all of Jacques Tardy's. Is it I, Renee? What's that thing? What's the name of that? I, Renee Tardy, Prisoner of the War, volumes 1, 2, and 3, all collected in one big hardcover omnibus of sorts. It's going to be 500 pages. Jacques Tardy is an amazing cartoonist. Is one of my favorite French cartoonists. That will be getting a release later this year. Also, they have the Carl Barks volume 2 was found in the by Kinney in those Amazon listings. That'll be out later this year. So then now we're only missing volume 1 and then the later volumes. I think that'll give us volumes 2 through 28 of the Carl Barks collection. And then I think that was it of the stuff that we didn't just see. So what do you guys think of the Fantagraphics collection catalog? Super Laugh Hard is congratulating Josh Greathouse. Tim Lane is excellent. He is really a great illustrator. Jess never got Love and Rockets, which is unfortunate. Even though Mike Allred, myself, and then who else? There's some other famous artists or cartoonists that convinced him to get it. Thanks, Super Laugh Hard. Sorry, on phone, got to finish edits and pay for it. Blank, I think I need that complete web of horror. Yes, you do. Josh Pettinger is in the new issue of Now. That's awesome. Josh Jess is getting Love and Rockets whether he likes it or not. Yes, they're both great. Also, Fantagraphics Bucks, buy 2, get 1 promo coming next month, or whatever the Fantabucks promo is. Is it like you buy 100 worth of books and you get 50 Fantabucks? Yeah, I think that's what it is. For every $100 worth of books you buy during that promotion, you get a $50 basically Fantagraphics gift card. So really cool deal that they have there. So that's that news for Fantagraphics. Let me see what else I have on the docket here. We already went over that. All right. I think the only other one is going to be the DC's Finest line, which got a lot of coverage over at Near Mint Condition last week. No, not World's Finest. Let's go. Oh, and is this going to be? There's 2 pieces of. Let me see. Let me see here. Cross time. So I'm gonna pick a good website with cool images to look at while I blabber on. Fine, it's affordably priced. Okay, so that shows that off. Let me see on DC's own website what they have going on here. Oh, and the new Elseworld, so that's important too. Okay, let's go to DC's own website. Looks like they have the best source for this. Let me see. Share my screen. Share screen. This page. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so this is coming from DC.com. Absolute Power. This is the new summer event that they're doing. That's going to be, I think it's written by Mark Waid with artwork by Dan Mora. So that's exciting. That's a great team. I'm not always up on the newest events for DC Marvel, but Mark Waid, Dan Mora, I'm gonna have to check that out. I like those guys. All right, so this is DC Finest. This is their kind of their version of the Marvel Epic Collection. They'll be priced at starting at $34.99. The first 5 releases, as you can see, they all have this nice similar trade dress. Not too dissimilar from the Marvel Epic Collections. There's no volume number on the spine. They each have like their own little title to them. Instead, they have the years that they're covering, and then a little picture at the bottom of the character. And these are the first 5 they're releasing. Superman, The Coming of Superman, which will be the Golden Age era. The Flash, The Human Thunderbolt, which will be the Silver Age era of Flash. Batman Year 1 and 2, which will be all of the first initial series of Batman after Crisis on Infinite Earths. We'll be collecting Batman Year 1 by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli, as well as Batman Year 2, which has Todd McFarlane, Mark W. Barr, and Alan Davis, I believe, as well as all the issues of comics that take place between those two. We'll have Catwoman, Lifelines, which will be the beginning of the 90s series by Jim Ballant, like the Bad Girl era of artwork. And then Wonder Woman, Origins and Omens, which is the Gail Simone era. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so like 5 completely different decades collected here. But these are supposed to be like the Marvel Epic collections where they're released out of order, covering different decades and different eras, but they're all comprehensive, not missing any issues. And once you have them all, when it's all said and done, you'll have an entire comprehensive collection of whatever lines you want to pick up. And also, though, you could, if you wanted to, you can only pick up just little volumes here and there of certain stories you wanted, and it won't look like weird on your shelf because you won't have like an odd like volume 17 and volume 8 of a book. DC Elseworlds are bringing the Elseworlds imprint back. Here's some of their stories they're doing, which none of them really appealed to me personally, but regardless, we're getting Gotham by Gaslight by Andy Diggle and Leonardo Fernandez. Dark Knights of Steel by Jay Kristoff and Terso Khans. DC vs. Vampires World War V. Is that World War 5 or is it World War V? By Matthew Rosenberg and Otto Schmidt. Greg Smallwood is doing Batman the Barbarian. Tate Brombell and Werther Del Adera is doing Green Lantern Dark. And Batman Nightfire by Clay Mann. So the artist, like Greg Smallwood, Clay Mann, and then Tate Brombell, the writer, those all appeal to me. Just the stories don't. These are definitely going to be things that afterwards I'll probably maybe pick up 1 or 2 if it's getting a lot of hype. The other news was the DC versus Marvel omnibuses that are coming out. There'll be 2. There'll be one that's covering all of the classic crossovers and then one covering all of the amalgam issues. We're getting a brand new cover by Jim Lee, which is, we only have the pencil artwork for right there. Oh, geez, where'd I go? But it'll be a brand new cover. That's the amalgam omnibus. And then so it'll be like a direct market cover, I guess. So we have the full contents listed here, officially from DC themselves. It is missing a few issues of the amalgam series, and those are issues that Gerard Jones himself wrote. Gerard Jones is, I think we talked about him on a previous episode. He went to jail, I think, for 10 years or so, for possession of explicit child content. I don't want to be pulled off YouTube for saying the words, but you can imagine what it is. It's disgusting, disgraceful, abhorrent, like absolutely deserved at minimum the jail time that he received. I do think he's been released since then, but those issues will not be in there. A lot of question about why wouldn't they put them in there? Because if they don't put them in there, they're punishing they're punishing the artists and the inkers and the letterers that also worked on those issues. I'm assuming, because we don't know the answer. My only assumptions can be that there has to be a sort of contract issue where if they release them, they have to pay out to Gerard Jones, and they didn't want to do that. Like they can't get around that legally. They can't like just donate the money that they would pay for him. It could be an issue of royalties. Maybe they didn't want to do that. That's a possibility. Another possibility is that since Marvel is involved in giving the okay to certain issues, because I don't think DC could have done this totally on their own. Like they don't own 100% of the content. they are publishing it themselves, but they still had to have Marvel's involvement as far as giving them the okay. Marvel, owned by Disney, could have said no, absolutely not, nothing with that guy's name in it. That's a possibility, and I think that's probably the more probable possibility. Again, no confirmation on that from anybody, including Omar of Near My Condition. He doesn't have the official confirmation on why. That's my assumption, though, only because we're getting we got the JLI Omnibus Volume 2, which is it's back here. You can't see it. And we're getting Volume 3, and Volume 2 had the beginning of what Gerard Jones wrote for that series, and then Volume 3 will have, I think Omar said like 35% of that book will be written by Gerard Jones, and DC is releasing those. There was the example of DC canceling the Green Lantern trade paperback that I guess was solicited a few years back that had the Gerard Jones written era of that. So people were like, well, DC's canceled a book with his name on it, but they have also released these omnibuses with his name on it. I think that trade paperback was just canceled the same reason why DC canceled the Peter David Aquaman, the Peter David Supergirl, the ongoing like Young Justice trade paperbacks until they finally completed those. Like any of those other trade paperbacks that were the lines that were never completed, the Robin by Dixon line that got stopped. I think it just got canceled for those same reasons as those did. I don't think that had anything to do with Gerard Jones explicitly. I think this was a Disney decision. That's my assumption, my speculation. I don't know for sure. But that's the reason why those two issues won't be in there. So what do you guys think about all of that stuff I just spewed out? Dun, 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 dun. I'm getting the $750 Zap box set during that Phantom Box promo. That's like my most wanted box set. I want that thing so bad. I'm not going to pay $750 for. I won't even, and that's like the autographed one. Huff, like that one includes like 11 art prints in there that are each autographed by all the Zap artists. And then there's the $500 version, which doesn't include the art prints or the autographs that they released. Also, I have seen that set go for like $200 some odd dollars at certain points over the years, which is still really pricey and way out of my price range. But that's just one of those things that like I always look at like, yeah, I really want that box set, but I'll probably never get it kind of things. And as it further ekes out into out of printness, because I think it's out of print. I think it's just a matter of where you can find them. I think some retailers still have them. But the further and further it goes out of print, the further and further from my grasps does that thing get. NMC Silver Age Unreadable. Yeah. So I appeared on the Near My Condition channel last week to do a fun little video where we proposed the idea of the 10 DC omnibuses that should be kept evergreen. It wasn't for anything official. DC's probably never going to see the video. It was just like a fun thing to do. So there's like 8 panelists on that video. We each brought 3 to the table that we wanted to propose, and then we had to narrow it down to 10 by the end of the video. And I was proposing Fourth World by Jack Kirby, one of the greatest comics of all time. Jack Kirby's magnum opus, brilliant stuff. And people were calling it unreadable because it's a slog to get through, and these people are out of their minds. I don't know. I love Golden, Silver, and Bronze Age comics. I really do. I do think there's a certain charm to them that you have to accept going into them before, like, because people will say like these are so cheesy, like they're not. There's no stakes, there's no blood and guts, and blah blah blah. Like, I get all that, but there's like a charm to it, and if you read them and get to the bottom of the writing, these writers are brilliant writers, and they'll sneak in certain like social political commentaries, or they'll sneak in just like fun little gags or whatever that you pick up on. And the artwork is brilliant. I'll always advocate more for like Silver Age era artwork than I will modern art in comics, as far as like superhero comics for sure. But I hate when here's what I'll say. I hate when any comic book reader sets a rule or guideline for themselves saying like, I don't read anything before the year 2000, or I don't read anything before the year 1990, because you are limiting yourself so much to any sort of possibility of great comics. So I like to have like no barriers on when I read comics, as far as like eras, types, countries they're from, whatever. I guess my only barrier is what language it's in, because I only read English. So that is a barrier for me, but that's just a I don't know, a limit based on capabilities. But I hate when the reader does that, because they limit themselves. Because like, if I say I'm not going to read anything before 1960, well then you're not going to read any of the EC comics, which are some of the greatest comics of all time. If you say I'm not going to read anything before 2000, then you're erasing the whole Frank Miller, Alan Moore era of the 80s. You're erasing the Silver Age of Marvel. It's amazing. You're erasing anything Jack Kirby did. So I just don't set guidelines and barriers for yourself. Make your barriers, I don't want to read comics that don't interest me, I guess. And then try to seek out new stuff. That's my thing. That's my little soapbox for the day. DC Finest will be great if they keep up with the line. Would love to read things like Warlord, Enemy Ace, Sergeant Rock, Jonah Hex, and so on. That's the thing. How focused are they on this? How committed to this are they? I wish they would come out and say, we plan on releasing these 5 first. In a few months, you'll see the next 5 are going to release. And we got a guideline of, are they going to release them out of order? Like for Superman, are they only focusing on Golden Age for now? For Wonder Woman, are we only getting modern stuff right now? Or are they going to jump around a little bit? Do they have a commitment to try to release stuff that's never been released? Like I would love Bronze Age Flash. It's like my most wanted era to read, because like from like Silver Age Omnibus Volume 3 all the way to all the way to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, that huge gap, which I think is like 200 plus issues, we've only gotten a few collections of, like the Death of Iris West collection and a few others. Or that might be the only one actually. But yeah, so we're missing a whole gap of Flash. I hope they kind of make a commitment to try to collect these eras that's never been collected. That's what the Marvel Epic Collection did in a genius way. From the get-go, they started collecting stuff that like paired up nicely with omnibuses. Like the first Iron Man Epic Collection, which was the first Epic Collection, like directly followed one of the Iron Man omnibuses. So they were collecting stuff that's never been collected and collecting popular eras. That's what was genius of collecting them out of order, was like they're hitting the big stories that if you just go into a comic book shop and you want to read Maximum Carnage, you can go just buy that one Spider-Man Epic Collection, as well as the stuff that's never been collected, which is appeasing to the omnibus collectors, as well as by the end of it, they'll have everything in there that'll appeal to the completists of the Epic Collection collectors. So when you appeal to different markets and different types of collectors, you're going to have more success. Will be my focus also Josh plus House of M, House of S, Adam Strange, Plastic Man, One Can Hope. Yes, Plastic Man by Jack Cole would be amazing. I would love that as well. Adam Strange, I'm only familiar with Adam Strange like Silver Age and then like Modern Age. Was there a lot of Bronze Age era Adam Strange comics? The Silver Age Omnibus is great, by the way. I'm not defending him. I wonder if the companies didn't want the backlash knowing this is a PR nightmare. No, and you said it, but I'm not. I wouldn't think that you're defending him. But again, like PR nightmare. That I think that would be Disney's reasons why they're saying no. But DC's shown that they don't have. They're releasing a second omnibus with his content in it. And try about Gerard Jones. A second omnibus with his writing in it, as far as the JLI stuff goes, which I'm glad they're releasing. I hate the fact that Gerard Jones's name's in that omnibus. I loved Volume 1 so much. Then Volume 2, when I got to the first issue he wrote, and when on the first page that he wrote, there's a Woody Allen joke. Gosh, it was such a downer for me in a comic that was my like comfort comic at that point. Like JLI was like my comfort comic, where it's like I can escape and just get into this world, and then like that pulled me out of it. I still haven't gone back to Volume 2, which I will. So I hate that his name's in there. I hate that he wrote this stuff. I hate reading funny jokes by the guy because nothing about that man's funny anymore. But DC's shown that they don't mind. I think it was a Disney decision. Yeah, the regular box is out of print. I watched some of that DC Evergreen stream. It was painful. The maddest Jess has ever been at. Oh, the maddest Jeff. The maddest Jess has ever been at me for saying Omnidog doesn't know blank about New Gods because he said he didn't like it. The maddest. Yeah. I don't know. I love Jess Bragg. Omnidog, he's one of my favorite guys to talk to about comics. I'll just say this. I was a little disappointed by his lack of representation for classic material, because that's one of the things that I found Jess's channel on was his classic, like, Silver Age stuff that he followed, and he still loves it. It's just, but one of the things I also like about Jess is that he's not an old curmudgeon that's like, I only read old comics. They don't make comics like they used to. He loves modern comics more than me, probably, when it comes to mainstream stuff. And I love that about him. So, yeah, whatever. Yes, no barriers. Wait, what's the Woody Allen joke thing? I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. It wasn't like a... I don't think it... If I remember correctly, I don't think it was a joke about Woody Allen liking young girls or anything like that. It was just a joke about Woody Allen, given his history. Knowing that, and then knowing what Gerard Jones went to jail for, it just kind of ruined it for me. But no, celebrity lookalikes are finished. See too many lawsuits, the cowards. I found the page. I'm just trying to read what it says. Is that... Hold on. I'm not up on my Woody Allen right now. Yeah, okay, so there's this character right here who obviously looks like Woody Allen. On the middle panel, where am I going here? The middle panel there. And then there, if you look on the VHS tape right there, right here on the last panel, it says Manhattan, which is a Woody Allen movie. So there's no joke. I don't think there's any jokes about Woody Allen liking young girls or anything, which would be really, I mean, a terrible coincidence given Gerard Jones's crime and then Woody Allen's, I can't say crime because he's never convicted, but his history with dating young women. It was just a guy that went to jail for CP, I'll say, making a joke about a guy notoriously known for dating young girls. And it just set wrong with me. I love Jess Bragg too, but not loving Fourth World is insane. I agree. We finally learned about how much Jess loves Nightfall. That was funny. That was a funny joke. Are you a Woody Allen fan? That's a hard question to answer. I'm a fan of some of his movies. It's hard for me in the present day to celebrate the guy, I'll say. I don't know that we... It is hard because what he was... I would say it's hard to celebrate the guy. I like some of his movies. I don't know much more than I want to say. What year did that come out? That issue was written... And I should say it wasn't the first page of that issue. It was the third page. Perhaps I'm spending more on personal grooming after I didn't see anyone come close to me. Oh, superb, frankly. Yeah, it's the third page. It is Justice League Europe issue number 14. And it came out May 1990. And then you're saying, didn't the Woody Allen allegations happen in the 1990s? Well, let's find out. Let's do some investigative journalism here. So that issue came out, or is at least newsstand listed as May 1990. When did the allegations first come out? Let me see here. Is this even interesting to you guys? Or is this just a conversation that Huff and I are having? Do you like this kind of content on the Taylor Talks Comics Live? Let me know. Let me know if you want less of this or more of just straight comic book news. 1992 is when he was shopping with a friend. Okay, so the day that it happened, which you can find this on you can Google this story if you want. But the day the incident happened that he went to trial for happened August 1992. So it would have happened after this comic issue came out. However, he oh, okay, that's right. That same year, 1992, is when his relationship with Soon-Yi Previn first came out, which is his current wife still, I believe, right? Isn't he currently married still to her? Yeah, they've been married since 1997. So 92 is when the incident happened, and also when his relationship with Soon-Yi happened or came public. Which the hubbub about that is that Soon-Yi was the adopted daughter of Mia Farrow. Is that who was? Yeah, Mia Farrow. Mia Farrow was Woody Allen's wife, previous wife. So Woody Allen married Mia Farrow, and Mia Farrow had already adopted Soon-Yi. So when Woody Allen first got into a relationship with Mia Farrow, Soon-Yi was like 11 or 12. That's when he met Soon-Yi. And then when Soon-Yi was an illegal adult, I should say, because there's no evidence that they had a relationship before when she was a minor. But when she's a legal adult, her and Woody Allen started a relationship. He had an affair with Soon-Yi when he was still married to Mia. And then him and Soon-Yi eventually got married, and they're still married today. And she was much younger than him at the time. Like Woody Allen is currently 88, and Soon-Yi is currently 53. So that's like 35 years age difference. Yeah, so Woody Allen was in his 50s when Soon-Yi and him started dating publicly, and Soon-Yi was only like 20, I think, I want to say. So he had this reputation for dating younger girls because also he had the movie. What was the movie he had where he was the middle-aged guy dating the high schooler, the senior in high school? That wasn't Manhattan, was it? Let me see. I don't know. Woody Allen's come out with so many movies. Which one is the one where he's dating? I want to say it's Manhattan, is it? I don't know. One of the movies where he's like a middle-aged guy and he's dating a high schooler. And so like based on that movie, which that movie was much heralded and beloved and celebrated and as a great rom-com. But then like with these allegations and then with the fact that his relationship with Soon-Yi and all this stuff, all that like context put together makes that movie hard to watch for a lot of people. And then mixed in with that, you have Gerard Jones. When you're reading this comic book with 2024 or 2023 eyes, I guess I was reading it with, knowing the stuff about Woody Allen, knowing the stuff about Gerard Jones, it just put a pit in my stomach. And I haven't gone back to it. Literally, that's the last issue. My bookmark is on the very next issue in the omnibus. I still haven't. This is that one issue that really set me off. But I still want to go back to it. I love the JLI stuff. I love Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis' work. And I love like that omnibus volume 1 is my favorite read that year. So I'll go back to it. But maybe because I know volume 3 is coming out soon. Woody Allen was proven innocent by multiple investigations at the time by the top people that investigate that stuff. That's true, but there was also some flaws in that investigation where they didn't talk to. there's a whole documentary on HBO about it too, which you could say that documentary is one-sided because it does present it from a certain angle, which all documentaries do. So I'm not trying to say that documentary is definitely like definitive evidence or anything, but they do interview the victim in that documentary, which was the victim was the adopted daughter of both Woody and Mia Farrow. And she was young at the time, I think like 9 or 10 when it happened. And they and she's like very definitive, like it happened. Her story hasn't changed over the years. Her story's been the same as it was when she was 9 years old as it is now. There was allegations that Mia Farrow coached her in her testimony. There's some allegations about how Mia Farrow recorded the video of I forget her name, the victim, the daughter, of her with her testimony. The whole thing stinks. I mean, the whole thing is just like from all sides. The important thing is that I can say definitively is that Woody Allen was not convicted, but he does have a history of appealing to younger girls, I guess. Not appealing, I should say. He has a history of having an interest in younger girls, such to say. But publicly, he has only dated girls that are legally adults, I should also say. Like, there's nothing legally of him dating or being with minors besides those allegations, which again, he was never convicted of. I don't know. James is saying, keep going. Thank you. Okay. So this is somewhat interesting to some people. 1992. They've been together 30 years and adopted a few kids. That's true. They have been together ever since. He's not. And since 1992, there's been no evidence of Woody Allen being with a younger woman or anything like that. He's been with Soon-Yi ever since. Manhattan. Okay. I thought that might have been the movie. I knew it had some New York title. Mia Farrow is much younger than, yeah, because they got together. They were on some movies together. I mean, they were on a bunch of movies together after they got together, but that's how they met, I believe. What was the age difference when they got together, though? So they married in 1980. Mia Farrow is currently 79. Oh, no. So then... Oh, well, Woody Allen's 9 years older. And they got together in 1980, which means Woody Allen would have been 25? No, 45. And Mia Farrow would have been 36. So 36 to 45. That's not bad. She was 36, he was 45. Nah. I don't think that's too bad. Manhattan. And she was with Frank Sinatra before that when she was super young, and he was like 50. Well, that's true too. Dylan. Yes, that's the victim's name. Thank you. Dylan. Nothing about the story makes any sense whatsoever and has changed. Woody has investigated again in order to be allowed to adopt kids. I didn't know that. That's new information to me. Again, I'm not saying definitive. I'm just saying there's more to the story possibly. But I don't. Has the story changed? Because the documentary on HBO, which again, I totally admit that it was one-sided, but they had the video footage of Dylan when she's younger, and then they have her adult footage, and she's telling the exact same story. So there is footage of her as a young girl and as an adult telling the same story. I don't know if in between the years she was changing her story, but at least she was consistent in those 2 points that I saw. But because the counter argument was that people were saying that Mia Farrow she was upset because the way she found out about Soon-Yi and Woody was that she found explicit photos of Soon-Yi that Woody had taken in his office. I guess she found the photos in his office. That's how she found out about the affair. So then people then said that because she was angry about it is when she started this story, and then she went after Woody Allen's character, and she was a crazy woman or whatever, that was just trying to get revenge because she was a woman scorned. That's what they said over the affair. But I hate when people make that allegation and that counter argument. It's like, she's just a woman scorned, because it's like, it's like someone presents to you evidence, and then your counter argument is, you're crazy. Like, that's really not the strongest counter argument. And I know that that's not an easy thing to defend, the exact scenario that we're talking about here, but to just come out and say, like, you're just a woman scorned, like, it's not only weak as far as the counter argument, but it's also just like nasty, like, to come back with that. Like, you're I don't know. It's such a tough conversation. This is a comic book video. I don't know why we're talking about this. Like, what are we talking about here? I sent a link to a video going over the facts of the case, and it's very long but really good. I recommend checking out whenever. Okay, yeah, I definitely will. It's definitely, I like, this stuff is intriguing to me. I do have an interest in this kind of stuff. When I watched the documentary, realizing it was one-sided, I did seek out other things. Like, I know Woody Allen, like, he came out with his memoir. I can't remember when he came out with the memoir. It wasn't too long ago. Where he tells his side of the story. So I listened to, like, the clips of that book, which I kind of feel like I need to read the whole book or listen to the whole audio of the book. But so and when I say one-sided, that doesn't mean that I think the documentary is just full of crap. It could very well be 100% all truth and honesty, but it's obvious when you watch it, it's presented from a certain angle, which again doesn't mean that it's wrong or it's incorrect or false or anything like that. It just means that they clearly set an angle that they're investigating thing. It's kind of like if you're investigating a case, if you have the perpetrator in mind already, and you're trying to make the evidence line up to match to the perpetrator, then you're going to find certain evidence that matches up to the perpetrator, if you know what I mean. Like, if you're like trying to solve a murder and you're like, I think that guy did it, so that every piece of evidence you find, you're going to find some way to twist the evidence to point it at that very specific murderer, rather than investigating it blindly and understanding there could be multiple possibilities here, if that makes sense. So when you're aiming it at one angle, things are going to line up for you a certain way, which is why documentaries are usually not good for not just this documentary, but multiple documentaries. Most documentaries, I should say, they're not really the best investigative journalism pieces for that reason. It's a very fascinating case. It is. The documentary is essentially a hit piece. It's so one-sided and manipulative. Right. But there's still, like, bits in, if you understand that while you're watching it, and you're going in with, like, the open mind of understanding that this is one-sided, while you're watching it, you can still pick out certain bits that are like, maybe that's a piece of evidence, maybe that doesn't look right, kind of thing. So it's but the vast majority of people that watch the documentary probably didn't go into it with that in mind. So they came out of it just thinking that, Woody Allen's guilty. Okay. Sorry, I just got a text. It's about my son's school. All right. That's all I have for today. While I go over the last minute plugs, please put any more comments or questions into the chat. I see Huff's still talking about it, which is fine. I'll address those too. So I'm gonna go over all my plugs and address anything else in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. But so follow me on Twitter at TM Talks Comics. Instagram and TikTok are Taylor Talks Comics. You can I just released a video on my Epic Collection haul. This week I'll be doing a video on Thor by JMS and Gillen, that omnibus. I have a few more issues I need to read in that. Hopefully the ROM omnibus, I have like 15 issues in that I need to read. So I'll hopefully be doing that, as well as the overview of the artist edition of John Romita's Spider-Man daily comic book or comic newspaper strips. I have a video over that I'm going to be doing. And then I think I still need to do my video over Alejandro Jodorowsky, all my comics I have of him as well. So those will be coming out this week. I'll be live again. Let's figure out what day that's going to be next week. Let me check my calendar here. The next Taylor Talks Comics Live will be, what is today? 28th? Ooh, it might be Monday or Thursday. No, that's going to be the Epic Collections. It might be next Monday. Monday the 4th. Will be that the next video, so a Monday episode. So look for that, and hit the thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. I feel very bad for Dylan, regardless, for most of the Pharaoh children. Yeah, it was a messed up situation. Tom Scioli is announcing a new book, Witchman, on Kayfabe stream today. He actually kickstarted that last year, Witchman, which looks awesome. I did not kickstart it. I did not back it because he said it will be released in the direct market. So I'm just going to pick it up there. But any new Tom Scioli comics I'm excited about. I kind of wish he'd pump them out a little bit faster. But what can you do? I just love Tom Scioli's work so much. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Keep reading comics. Catch you on the next one.